the way to use the input stream, the output, and the file output stream and the file input stream. And this was the example. So we created a file called to do file. The content mode is private. Then we created an object called writer that we can now use to write study the data storage in Android. This is not correct English, but okay. Help my mom with the plans. This was the to-do list. And then we closed it. And then this one here was supposed to be now use the same file, open it and read the content. This was the example. So I believe that you are able, when running this, if you look at this part of the device, this is the files that I have, and this is the to-do list. So you can see the content. Yes, Drew, did it work?
Yes, until there it's working.
Yeah.
Until there it's working.
Okay, see, that's where we wanted. That's what I had, we did in class. The one that I gave you, I told you to go and think about it, challenge yourself.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that is what we needed, and that's okay. So today, I want us to start working on the idea of maybe before I go to that, I don't know whether I can, on the lecture notes, I should try and also demo something around what another example of a using the internal storage. So I don't know whether you're okay with that, or should I go to this example? That is the idea of simple file read and write example. So another one, but this is just to emphasize, and this is the way it looks like. So here is the idea of this as simple app. So we are writing to a file using the file output stream. Now in an on post method. So in our discussion, we had talked about on post, on start, or resume, on create, and on destroy. So what happens is that somebody writes this content. This is still writing to a file. Notice that. So you write this content, you save the file and force the app to close. So when the app closes, then when you load it, the content you read from the file using the file input stream on the Zoom method. So I think I can also do this simple example just to emphasize what we did on the other one. So just to emphasize on that. So I would request that we start a new app. So I want us to start a new app. So that we can use that as an idea. So our idea of showing this other example. So just go to File, New Project. So this project is an Android, empty. Next. So this is supposed to be read, write. So this is UG. Now, so the language is Java, everything else is perfect. So I just finish. So this is a project. I hope you are there. So I'm waiting for you to get there. Waiting for you to get there. Dorcas, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
No, I'm asking whether you've been able to get to this point where we are now.
Yes, I'm able.
So let me ask one more person.
Sir, please give us a minute.
Okay, okay. Are we together now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So what we need to do is
Sir, wait.
and notice I'm waiting for you guys. So let me know. Let me know when you are done, guys, so that I don't wait forever.
Sir, you can continue.
Okay, okay. So what I need you to do is that on the rest, go to the layout, activity main. Then I want us to change this so that now we can use, I want us to use the linear layout. So let us change the layout, convert view to linear layout, apply. Then I also want you to change it to be orientation, to be vertical orientation. Vertical orientation. Then I also want you to go to the code now. And in the code, we don't need a text view. What we need is a button, as you saw from there. So add a button. The is we want the button to fill in the button to be wrap content. So wrap content. We need an ID for, we need an ID for this. So Android full colon ID at plus ID, we call it editor. Okay, so now the next item I want is that I would want us to have the content for it. So I want the button to have some message. So go to values, string. So under string, I want us to add the message that will appear on the button. So string name, we can call it prompt underscore cross, so that can you ask the user to cross. Then you have save the file, save file, and force up cross. So then here now, we add that. So what we want is for the user to have it as being a text. So the text that appears within that button. So we have Android full colon text. And we want it to be using that prompt cross. Next, now I want you to add where user will type, so an edit text. This one I want it to be match parent. And because we are going to program it, Android ID, let it have @ID plus editor, like that. This is button. We call it what? The button, I called it, sorry, cross. The button ID, not cross. Let us call it cross. The button, let us call it the button cross. But this one we call it editor because this is where we are editing. Sorry for that. And then we don't want it to be a single line. We want it to be multiple lines. So Android, full colon, single line, you say is false. Then the way we want it to be placed, we want it to be placed at the top. So gravity, Android, full colon, gravity, top. Close that. So if you look at that design, this is what I want at the top. Text editor. So if you look at the app, what we have is that this is where a user will come and type the content. I am very happy with this programming class. Run as much as you can. So what we want is when a user now writes, this is the text they write, then they click on the button, force file to close this one. They click on this button. Then what should happen is that the app should exit. But then when we load it again, when we load it again now, let us say I close the app like that, and then I read it, I wrote the app again. You see this data that I had written here, the information that I had written here, I want it to be saved, to be there. So you see for now, even when I click save and maybe exit and I start again, there is nothing saved. So I want to save that to internal file. I want the details that I'll type here, whatever I'll type here. So let us say I type that, I click on save. Then once I save and I exit, maybe I click on the back from our discussion. If I start the app again, those details, I want them saved. So you can see they are not there, but I want them to be there. So that's the idea of what we are working. Anybody with a question on what solution we are working on? Hiyo ni sawa basi.
Can you please go back to the code?
The code, yes, the code, yes. Tell us when you are done.
Sir, just 1 minute.
So you can continue.
Okay. So Now we go to the Java file where we want now to implement that functionality. The functionality we want to implement is the functionality that allows us to be able to save that data as I have shown. When you type, the data should be saved. So first, I want us to declare a variable. I said in Java, we have 3 types of variables: local variable, class variable, and instance variable. So we create a class variable. A class variable is the one that every variable will have to use it. Every variable will use that. So that's what we want to do. So let us create one private, final static, private final static. Is a string. So the string is notes file underscore name. So this is the file that we will have that will be called notes.txt, semicolon. So in other words, you see, this one will not change. It's the name of the file that will not change. It's the notes file name. It will be called notes.txt. It's a string, of course. We have said that is the final, so cannot change. It's like a constant variable, and it's for the class. You don't need, when we use the word static, it means you don't need an object to use it. You can just call it without an object. Next, we have already added an edit text, so we define it private edit text, and we call it editor. So make sure that you import that, Alt Enter. Next, now we go to the onCreate. So in the onCreate, what we want to do here is that we wanted to be able to allow us to be able to create a content that we can add. So editor equals to, we find view by ID, r.id dot the editor that we have just added. The name we have created for it was, I believe, this one here. We have called it editor. This one. This is the one I'm saying. So dot editor. Semicolon. So here, what we are doing is getting the reference. Now we have a reference for the editor. Then we also do the same for the button. So button, but you know button now is a local variable because it will only be used here. Button btn equals to find view by ID, r.id dot our button, we called it what? Cross. So dot cross. This one here. Semicolon. Alt Enter. So what have we done so far? We have declared a variable for notes, an editor, and now we have also tied them. So we have tied the editor and also the button. Next. So we want now to invoke the button so that when it is clicked, the button kills the app. That's what we want. So btn is the object dot set on click reasoner, new button dot on click reasoner Then we have the body for it. We have the method public, the one that will invoke public on view v, maybe that is the object name, and then we can open it up. I've said view v. I've opened it up. Sorry, here I said this. That's what I want. So here there is a problem. After opening that, I need to have, so public view, open, this bracket should be here, and that's the one like that. So this should be just closing bracket. Am I right? I've said btn, btn on click reasoner. So that opens a method. This is the body. Let me format it correctly. That's the body. Then this is the brace for closing this one here. This is the brace for closing that. Then close that. And then I have extra buttons, extra close brackets. So that's okay. That's okay. So what I want is that here now on the button, when the button is clicked, then it should call the method finish. Should call the method finish. So if I run this up, so if I run that up, and let's say I add content here. So I type my content there with something, and I click this button, the app will be forced to close. That's what the finish does. But as you see, when I open it up, what I want to do with it is not yet done because it doesn't save the details as well. It doesn't still save the details, but it closes. That's what I wanted to be doing. So I want, when the button is closed, it forces the app to be, the app save file and force the app to close. So once I do this, it is now forcing it to close, but still not saving. So that's the part I want us to go next for saving. So on the saving part, I want you to come out of the onCreate method, and now we create a new method. So that is the method on resume public void on resume. So when the app the app resumes, what happens? So we now call super on resume. Okay, so now then we try. So we are going to use try. So when a user has try, we argue this try file input stream in the file that we are reading. We open the file input stream, and the file we are opening is the one that will be created notes file, semicolon. File input stream open file, not stream, open file. It's supposed to be open file input. Yeah, that's okay.
Sir, you're on mute.
Sorry, yeah. So I was saying, sorry, thank you so much, Sha. So I was saying that we have created an object called in. So now if in is not equals to null, then we have input stream reader, input stream reader, temp equals to new input stream reader with the object in. So then we use the buffered reader. Buffered reader we need the alt enter. Buffered reader, we use the reader equals to new buffered reader with a temp. Then we create a string that will store the values. So string str. So that string will have, we will use the string builder to build a string. The buffer equals to new string builder. Semicolon. Yeah, I've said builder, not buffer, builder. Okay. string builder. Then we append, so well, string variable equals to reader dot readline if that is not equals to null.
Sir, can you please hold?
Okay. So I'm waiting for you guys to tell me when you are ready, let me know.
Yes.
Especially, yeah. And don't also take the whole century period. Let me know when you're done.
Sir, I'm
Yes.
having 6 errors.
What could be the problem that you have? Have you followed what we have? Because unless, how can I help now? Because the errors, yes, you should have errors, but not. The first one is because we have not added the catch the catch section. That is why we should have these errors. But I don't know where the errors are coming from. Maybe the best thing is we finish and then we will solve them. We will solve them.
Sir.
Are you ready? Set the other guys? I continue.
Yes.
So the next portion is for us to to iterate through. So we are iterating reading. So our buffered reader dot append the string that is available, append the string. And then after every string has been added, we add a new line character. We add a new line character. Then once we are done with reading all the values, then we close it, in.close. Then the content, we add it in the editor. Editor dot, we set the text to be what is in the buffer dot to string. Yeah, that's okay. So then now we come out of the try, no, of the if, and also of the try, and we have the catch. Is an exception. No, the first exception is a Java input output file not found exception. Maybe the file is not there. So this is like telling you the file does not exist, which is okay. The file does not exist. If the file does not exist, then you will of course get that exception. The other one is catch. And this is exception E. Open it up. So then we need this shown. So we create a toast message, toast.make text. This comma, the message you want is telling you an exception. Plus E dot to string, the message that is in there, we want to get that to string. So we have the character 200, 2000, we can use that, dot show. So for the toast, you will need to say Alt Enter. So we then come out of the on resume. Yes, yes, on resume. So here we are putting the duration. If this is giving you an error, you can use the duration. What if I do this? Sorry, I do this. Yeah, so you can decide to use that instead of using the specific value, the specific time that you wanted to rest. I don't know why that is giving us an error. I'll test it and see, but this one will not give you an error. Next, now we go to on post. Fabric void on post.
Sir, just a moment.
So we can continue. Sawa.
Okay, so what I was saying is that you have the on post, and of course we must super dot on post. So here we want to try and check that the file we read it. Our aim on this on post is that we will have a try method. This try is supposed to look at the file output string as an out, whether the file exists, output string. The file we are looking at is not on the file name dot. The way we want to read it is context. Context mode. We want to read it as mode private. Semicolon. So this we need to import, I'll enter. Hey, this is, I have said what? File output stream. It's an output, not input. That's what I'm wondering. It's an output. And this is also file open file output. It's an output file, not input. And then now out dot right. So here we have editor dot get text to string dot get bits. So we get what content a user has already written there. Then we out.close. We close the file. Then outside of the try, we catch the exception. So exception E. Then we create a toast message, make test. This will be this, comma, exception. Plus the stack of the message dot to string. Comma, toast dot make wrong, comma, no, not comma, dot show.
Sir, it's giving me a show. It's giving me an error in show.
Maybe you show the dot, the way where it is, check that. That is done. Let us run the example now. Just 1 minute, please. I'm saying let us run the app so that you can see its operation. So this is now the app. So here, this is an example of internal storage of data. So if I close it, that means the app goes, and I want to open that app again, read and write. So you can see now the difference. So if I force it to store, I open it again, the data is persist, it's there. And even if I add more material. So this is an example of internal storage of data in mobile apps. So if I say, click here, I open it again, you see the data is saved. So that is an example of what we would say internal storage.
So mine is giving an error when I try to run. It's telling me cannot lock Java compile cache as it has already been locked by this process.
You can share your screen.
Okay. Sir, please make me co-host. Or...
Yeah, you can share now.
Huh? Where did it go? Sir, can you see?
Yes, I can see that.
Wait, can you see?
It says that
Huh? Yes or no?
as it has already
Can
been
you see my
by this
screen?
process.
That's my.
The book, can you see? Can you go to your? Can you expand that error? I want to see that error exactly correctly. The error that can you expand it? Cannot lock the cache compiler. And the statement above it.
There's no statement above it.
I'm saying just the one where there is an exclamation mark, the exclamation mark above the one that you have highlighted. On the left. There are two, yeah, that one cannot, yeah, that one is on. I want to see. Click that, click it. Can you run this? Run this, you click run with the stack trace, or you, can you run that? Click it. Let us see up where the error is coming, scroll up on that error stack, not there, on the error that you have, yeah. The screen on your right.
On my right, this one.
Yeah, scroll up.
I can't scroll up. This is it.
Go to the row cut, then go click on row cut at the bottom. Row cut. So I want you to select error instead of verbose.
Instead of sir or this one.
Verbose, yeah. Select the error. No, string not supported here. Let us see your code now. Maybe there is another problem that is coming in. So,
Sir, is it because of my phone? Because I
what has
tried
happened?
running on my phone, but then I canceled it because it was like it was freezing and you were already continuing. So I stopped the
Because I don't see. What about, have you tried to use an emulator?
mine doesn't work, sir. So you told me to use my phone. Like you told me to run these things on my phone because my emulator, like, it doesn't work.
And you're at home, you can try with somebody else's phone.
Okay, let me try, then I'll let you know.
Sir,
Mhm.
we are being chased out of this class, so we are going to find another class.
That's okay. That's okay. So I give you a break. We take a break of about 10 minutes as you look for a class. Let me know.
There's no one. I just said we're just out. What can I say? What do you want? You just put each one up. Why did you take the second step? You're a fool. It is the first one.
Can I ask who has succeeded in running the app?
Not me. Sir, I have succeeded.
You know what you're doing? You have succeeded in running it?
Yes.
Dr. Lawrence,
Yes.
I have an issue. My code is okay, but I'm still finding the same error that I was seeing before. It's saying Gradle build has failed.
You see?
I'm saying the code is okay, but it's still showing me Gradle build failed.
Yeah, you can show your screen.
Okay. Sir, can you see my screen?
So when you run it, you are saying it says what?
Okay, when I run it, it's saying Gradle build has failed.
And have you tried to restart again? What could be the problem? Let us see. Only supported using. Yes, this is the same problem of Android version, right? Because it says the tools supported on there. So if you double click that arrow that you have highlighted, if you double click that, and it will take you to where the error is. Maybe is it the next one? If you double click it, double click, because the error that is coming here is because of the if you go to the log cut at the bottom where you are, log cut, yeah, there. So it says that up there's errors. I want you to change from verbose to errors. So you see this error says that it is around up a bit. I think there is a maybe this. How did you solve that error last time? You changed to what? System settings.
Yeah. You remember
So
the day you... Okay.
Go ahead.
I used the previous files, the ones you told me to use.
So no. Maybe the best thing for that would be for you to consider because this is a problem of the settings, and I feel like I don't know how. Do I have any other solution except that worked last time?
Okay, for last time, the codes were working, like for the shared preferences. When I ran my code, it was working.
Yeah, but you know that is a property of Android.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah. I tried it with a different phone, but it's still giving me the same error. And I'm saying I tried it on a different. It's Wafa. I tried it with a different phone, but it's still giving the same error. But when
Maybe.
like that same phone, I ran it on a different laptop, it worked. So I don't know, I guess it's my Android Studio.
Yeah, Android Studio could be the cause of those problems, even for the Dockers. It's the same issue of Android, and that's why maybe the only solution you have is to invalidate it, restart it, and see whether it will help.
So is it a must we do it right now?
Yeah.
Is it a must we do it right now? Because you're going fast.
Ah, okay. And the way I'm going through for sure. Hey, the way we are today for sure it cannot be. Here is the thing. I can tell you for sure. The speed at which I'm going is very slow for today. So today is very slow, the pace I'm going with. If we go like this, we will never be able to finish the course. That's the truth. So today I cannot be blamed for sure. Today I'm actually waiting for you to finish and then we continue. So I know that, and I know that I'm moving a bit slower because I want you to follow.
Dr. Lawrence,
Yes,
can we do it later?
yes, I think so. I think you can try later because that would be a real problem. I think so. I think the way you have said is correct. You try later so that you see whether you can be able to see that. Now, once you test it, and you should be able to see your app provides the note. This is the note.xml. This is what I've written. So the note file is created. It's a file. This is an example of internal storage. So when I run my app, I come up and write my own stuff. For example, now I'm just writing something on the app. I say,
Sir,
Hmm?
can you just take a step back and take us through what you just did, please?
Take back.
We want to know how you got here. Can you just repeat, please?
How I got here. How I got here. I don't understand. So this is the data that I have saved here. So if you go to write up this one here, this is the data that I have saved. So now that is the content. I want to understand the statement that you have said, how we got here. I don't understand what you mean. How we got here as in.
Sir, I've figured it. Thank you.
Okay. So the next argument I want us to work with is SQLite, assuming that that one you have now been able to understand what we are working on. I want to go back to
Sir, you're on mute.
Sorry. So I was saying that this is the content that we were writing there. Then once we write, we save it as text, as notes.txt. Then that is what is loaded there. So write to a file using file output stream in onPost. So onPost method, the onPost method has super onPost. So file output stream. So this is where we want the content to be saved, and it's the notes.txt. Then we pick what is in the editor. We get the text. For string, we get the bytes, and then we close. That's the content. So we save it in that file. In case of an exception thrown. So then on resume, we want that content in that file to be now read. So it reads the file input. And then we have the iteration, of course, because we are saying it's possible that the read line, there are several lines that have been added. So these iterates through the lines, group around reading all the file content and then displaying them. And that's what now the set content is set to that. So that is an example of what we call file, internal file. You could also have what we call external storage.